People give you the nickname Lao Zhao in China.
Yeah.
Just to describe their long-time partnership with you. But actually, you are to many of your friends Xiao Zhao, like what Chinese would call their friends, you know. So how do you feel about your, shall I say, decades already cooperation with China in a very dynamically changing world?
Look, I would take both Lao and Xiao. Lao because it's a long relationship, on that I got more experience. On Xiao because I learn all the time from my friends in China. Those decades, and I'm stating the obvious, have been an intense transformation. And I would say every year makes China different or leads to a different China. So I always come here to understand, try to understand, meet people I know, meet new people, and learn and collaborate with them.
You are so deeply rooted with your knowledge about China because you live in Hong Kong, you live on the mainland for years. But things are changing also very fast. How do you stay updated about what's going on, even here in China, not to mention in other parts of the world?
The world is changing very fast, but here it's changing even faster. The adoption of technology is faster, the urbanization rate is faster, the changes of the economic priorities can be happening faster than in other places. The only way, frankly, is to read a lot, keep yourself informed. Of course, digital helps you to do that. But the most important is to have reliable contacts into each and every of the geography and talk a lot, and be interested, and be curious about what's happening.
And be open-minded.
Yeah, of course, that goes together. But it's really that permanent dialogue that helps you to keep in touch with what is truly happening in the places.
Recently, you have been having this important collaboration with Nvidia, talking about the infrastructure of data centers. Yeah. How is that cooperation going? Is it going to be applicable worldwide?
If you zoom out, the job of Schneider is to be the partner of our customers in their double agenda of sustainability and digitization. And digitization brings a lot of efficiency, and clean electrification brings a lot of decarbonization. The combination of digitization and electrification results in a journey of sustainability or an agenda of sustainability.
Okay, the bigger picture is clear.
The bigger picture is, so let's be clear, what is our contribution? Our contribution is to connect everything, aggregate the data in a format that you can use, and then on that data that was not available before, what we call IoT, big data, then you can run software, full portfolio of software on AI, so that you can optimize your process for energy saving, for carbon reduction, for productivity, for safety, for efficiency, for a lot of collateral benefits. So with that, we are adopting AI everywhere. Right, on the products, they self-optimize. At the level of a factory, they optimize the whole factory. Across all your factories, you optimize between your factories. You can have a digital twin from the design time to the time you build to the time you operate. And so AI is everywhere. But at the same time, a large part of the business of Schneider is providing energy systems to data centers. Right. And AI is being learning in data centers. And the big difference is that AI consumes a lot of energy, much more energy than the previous.
That's actually one of the bottlenecks.
So this is where we, as energy specialists and energy digitization specialists, work with Nvidia and other companies to improve the whole architecture and get the maximum computing power and accelerated computing power for the minimum amount of energy on a zero level of carbon. That's what we do. And this is the topic of our collaboration with Nvidia. So there are multiple things that will happen. First, making sure that the new data centers are much more efficient, and therefore we are reviewing permanently the architecture to do that. And also bring a lot of computing on the edge. That means in your building, in your plant, on the shop floor, because It's much faster to react. Zero latency. When it is your security as a worker, you need immediate reaction. You don't want to go to the cloud and wait for an answer. And second, it's much less energy. The more you can do things close to the application, the less energy you will consume.
Those are certainly great ideas. Having said that, though, you have been always working on energy efficiency from day one. Tell us more about how the new technologies such as AI and many others would be able to support you to explore the new frontiers of energy efficiency and work on sustainability.
On software and AI is able to integrate all the parameters, the weather parameter, temperature parameter, do you have ships in the port that can take the goods you are producing? Do you have minerals in the mine? So that on doing that, you can optimize on a very large scale. The priority, though, is to make sure that everything is connected and you get the data. And this is what we help our customers to do. And then we go to the next stage, which is helping the customers to deploy the right piece of AI or software in front of their needs. But think about it, generative AI to design faster, predictive maintenance, manufacturing optimization, alarming, and so on. All of this, on energy efficiency, of course, all of these are things that can be connected by, or that can be accelerated by the connection of IoT, big data, and AI.
We see a lot of interesting things going on these days. For example, AI Act coming from the EU in Europe. And also, interestingly, on the other side, there's consensus among countries. 120 countries sign on that proposal on AI governance at the United Nations the other day, General Assembly. So how do you, as a business leader, digest all these different directions and try to come up with your own system that can serve every one of your customers?
So there is one thing, which is how do you serve every of your customer? And to a large extent, AI will be also largely vertical. That means to one application, you're going to have one sort of model or way of doing, which is more adapted to this. That's one of the things we do by having specialists of one sector or one application that really are learning and helping customers to progress in their own application. I just think we have to be careful that we don't over-regulate before trying, because at the moment we don't know what are the limits of the technology. So we have teams who are reading and absorbing all of this and guide us, and we're going to go by the rules of the law, wherever they are in each geography or in each region.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.